Good afternoon and welcome to You Create Art at Home. My name is Bess and I'm here for your daily creator break. 15 minutes for you to have a little bit of you time. And today's a little bit different. I had planned out what we were going to do for the week and we were going to look at the different emotions and how we can express those emotions and perhaps put it on our desk to give our work colleagues or the people that we work with a kind of heads up as to how we were feeling. And yesterday we did anger. But today I am just taking a pause on that. This does fit into that because it is all about emotions. Probably passion is the one, and anger is the one that springs to mind. Across the world, we are all recovering from COVID-19. We're all trying to repair the physical and mental anguish of what we've been through in the last 12 weeks. And yet, sadly, last week, in one act of unnecessary racism, violence and cruelty, an innocent man was murdered. And whilst I am 100% supporter of police and law enforcement, when it comes to stretching the boundaries of what they are there for and taking the law into their own hands, I'm afraid I do not stand up and support that. As an art student, you'll be not surprised to hear that at university and in my year 11 and 12, I was actually quite an activist. I was part of Amnesty International. I used to protest quite often in a peaceful way against various different political things that were happening in the UK. Now, at age 48, and certainly down in Brisbane, Australia, I'm in no place to start going off and marching with 3 kids. But, and likewise, most of us feel angry. We are watching it on the news in America and actually can't even get our heads around what those poor people are going through after the 12 weeks that we've already been through. And it makes me angry and sad and frustrated that when we're all sat here 12 weeks ago talking about, wow, wasn't that wonderful to have this time to reconnect with each other, to slow the pace of the life down, to understand how important our planet is, to nurture our friendships, to look after our health. We've been through all of that. And for me, it has been transformational. And yet here we are, and one stupid act has now created what feels like 1,000 stupid acts. And we are in a place, in a world that you can only watch on TV and feel like you're in a movie. And I appreciate it's not on my doorstep. But what I have learned through COVID-19 is actually the world and you guys are on my doorstep. Because when I was on my own, thinking I had no business and feeling desperate and lonely, actually, I reached out to you via this format and you responded. I had viewers from America, from Canada, from Holland, from England, from Spain, from France. And that's when you realize that countries shouldn't be on their own. They shouldn't operate independently. Globally, we need to stamp out racism as we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to support our Americans in ensuring that this stops. Look, there's racism in Australia. There's racism in every country. I know that. And whilst we try and deal with the long-term education, re-education, and certainly the education of our children, we need to deal with the here and now. And actually, by all of us taking just a silent stance, by all of us taking just a silent protest, by all of us just putting black on our social media, whatever you need to do just to say, actually, I disagree. It's important. It's important to have a voice. That's why we all strive and live in a democratic society. And it's important that our voice is united. This cannot go on. It shouldn't go on. And so, I feel very emotionally charged about this. I've been doing a lot of training recently, and a lot of my training has been with my fabulous colleagues in America. And it's touched them in a way that it has also touched me outside of my own personal beliefs. So I decided to just put a pause on what I was going to draw today, and I've come up with a little drawing that allows me just one tiny inch to have a little protest and a little voice without being some crazy mama running down the streets with my rolling pin in the air. I was really empowered to do this because yesterday my daughter, who is about to turn 12, came home from school and was telling me how she was able to change her Instagram pic to support Floyd. And mum, whilst I'm not black and I don't want to appear like I'm going to be, what did she say? I don't want to appear like I'm taking the mick out of it because I'm not black. I'm not black. I know that. But mum, it's just not right. And I thought, wow, if my 12-year-old daughter can see through the crazy world that the adults are putting her through and just went, I just want to put this up on my Instagram to say, it's not right, then I'm sorry, she actually didn't shame me into it, but made me go, oh, I'm an artist. I can make my feelings known through art. Isn't that what graffiti artists do? That amazing mural that's on the wall in front of where Floyd died. So look, I'm not going to profess to change the world with this tiny moment, but if you are in your office, if you are in your shop, if you're at your desk at home and you've got 5 minutes, then let me take you through a little drawing that maybe can just give you voice and create a silent protest. Put it on your Facebook, let people know that you support their cause. And it's not their cause, it's our cause. We are all socially responsible. We cannot let our children grow up in a world where the colour of their skin defines them to a place where they are above or below. And this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's like saying, a cat is better than a rabbit. I mean, it's just so profoundly ridiculous. It makes my blood crawl. Anyway, I'm not a politician. I'm not going to get on a political soapbox. If you've got some time spare with me, I'm going to flip you over in a minute. I'm going to take you through a little drawing. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for joining. Please leave me a message, say #replay. If you are passionate enough and you aren't embarrassed about what you create, please share your drawings with me. I would love to have some power of connection. We need to make a point. If you can't do that and you don't want to draw, then just at least spend 2 minutes. Let me take you through my perspective. And then use this chance to perhaps share what I've drawn with somebody else. Share it on your social media and let somebody who wants to feel like they want to draw and have a voice, let them see how to find me. And maybe I can just put into pictures what we can't say in words. It's a very simple drawing, but it's quite powerful and it's quite personal. All right. Okay, so I'm going to flip you over and I'm just at my desk as usual. It's lunchtime. I'm working from home and we are going to have our little drawing sesh. Okay, so if you're ready, here we go. Look, that's from yesterday. That was me doing anger yesterday. Rah! I am angry and I'm disgusted and I'm sad. Not joyous yet about this, but I'm definitely fearful for the future if we don't all stand together and make a difference. Hi, Claudia. Thank you for joining me today. And today, in a visual way, we are making a protest in the way I know, which is through drawing. And yeah, I think when people say kneel for Floyd, they don't actually mean you have to get on one knee unless you're in a place where people can visibly stand it. But kneel for Floyd is very much a point of saying, I support you. I support the activists that do want to make change. So let's go. So we are going to draw a picture of ourselves. Now, if you're not comfortable drawing a picture of yourself, you can just follow me and draw me, which is fine. But I'm going to show you how you can personalize it. So the first thing we're going to do is spin our pencil round and round. I'm using a pencil because we'll need to do a little bit of rubbing out. We're going to spin our pencil round and round and I'm going to draw a circle. Now, if I put my hands together, you can see it's a bit smaller than that ring, okay? It's, let's see, I'll put my coffee cup over the top. It's smaller than the ring of my coffee cup, okay? So that's I guess it's about 7 centimeters across, something like that. Okay, so we're going to spin round and round and round. Now this is going to be our head. It is a picture of, if you've seen it on my Facebook already, it's a picture of us fist pumping, putting our fist in the air, united. So we're now going to put another circle here. Slightly smaller than your head, spin. If you spin, it means that you can go round and round until you get the circle that you want. And then you can rub out anything that's not quite comfortable. Okay, this is your head, this is your fist. And we're doing it in perspective of somebody looking up, punching their fist in the air. So we need to draw your hairline. Now I have a side parting, so my parting is going to go here. If you have a center parting, it's going to go here. Now you're so used to drawing faces where this is the front view. This is actually where our face is going to be, okay? So this is the top of the head. So in my hair, I have, as you've seen, a kind of swooping bob haircut. So I'm just drawing the shape of my hair. That's my right-hand side of my fringe. Here and here would be where my ears are. So if you have a blunt cut, you're going to do a blunt fringe. If you have spiky hair, then you might give it a bit of a spiky edge. If you have long hair or bunchies or plaits, you might get them to go down the side. So create your shape of your hair the way you want it. Now I'm going to add in some detail. So I'm going to go from the parting and I'm going to start adding in the strands of hair. And this is a sketch, yeah? We don't have to be perfect with it, but I'm just going to now press on. I'm using a pencil grip, so I'm pressing a little bit darker. I grew up in a really rural and country part of England. My dad was a farmer, and I'm not going to lie, back then in the 70s, the world was definitely, and rural England definitely was quite a racist place. My eldest sister started going out with a Jamaican, and I can't remember where he was from. Somewhere, another country in the African continent when she was at university. And that was really our family's first integration to integrated relationships. They just was, back in the 70s, they hadn't come down to where I lived in Cornwall. And it amazed me that people thought it was a weird thing. I just thought it was fantastic that my sister found love. And to be honest, didn't matter an iota to me what the colour of his skin was, what language he spoke. And I from someone that has a very, a very pure way I look at the world, I just thought it was crazy that there was judgments. I just couldn't understand what that even meant. And I think my children feel the same now. They're like, what is this about? Move on, people. There are bigger things. What our children see as issues is climate change, and pandemics like COVID, where you literally have no control over it. But things that we do have control, the way we interact, the way we socialize, the way we respond to each other. What on earth are we doing, people? Huh? Okay, now, here is your face. If you have a long face or a nice narrow face, then you want to go into a kind of point here. I have little chubby cheeks, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of a chubster. It's important to get the look, isn't it? But if you don't have chubbier cheeks, then you might not want to. And then I'm going to put my chin in here. So that's how I view my shape of my face. But you might come straight in from the side and do more of a sharp feature. The nose. So you feel like the nose wants to be in the middle, but it doesn't. It wants to be just above that point of your chin. Give yourself a little nose. And then again, depending on what your eyes are like, I have quite round eyes. So I'm going to kind of do that rainbow shape. And it is a bit cartoony, and I'm fine with that. Okay, so that is my arches of my eyes. And then I'm going to put a straight line across because I'm looking up. So they're the tops of my cheeks. And then put in your pupil. Now you can put in your pupil and you can put in the whites of your eyes as well. For this instance, I'm just going to put in my pupil. And then 2 eyebrows. A little circle there and up over the top. Little circle there and then up over the top. So you follow the arch of your eye. Add a few more wispy bits around my face there. Now, if you're a lady, you can give yourself some little lashes. If you're a gent, you might have some facial hair that you want to add in, or you might have a moustache. And then just underneath the nose, between the nose and the chin, we're just going to add in some lips. And I'm just keeping it really simple. I'm not overly designing any of that because, you know, you just want it to be a simple statement. I'm going to put one little curve there for the nose and two little curves for the outside of the nose. And that's my face done. Ladies, if you want to, or I should say ladies and gents, if you want to and you wear earrings, you might want to just put a couple of little earlobes in and put some earrings underneath. Don't make them too long because remember, this is a view from the top. Okay, so we're on to the body now. The body, because of the foreshortening and from the view going from the top, the body's actually going to come out from the side of the head like here. Okay, out from the side of the head. So that's the back of our body. And no, it feels weird, but you won't see the neck. So it's important we get this structure right. So it comes out from the side of the head like that. Now, Karen, I am, or Bess as you know me, I'm always in aprons, usually doing artwork. So I'm going to put an apron on here. If you're wearing a shirt and tie, you might want to do something like this, where you put the shirt and tie in. Often, a lot of people don't wear shirt and ties anymore in the office, so wear something that defines who you are, you know, sort of your calling card, what people understand is your clothes. This is your back, this is right underneath your chin. Okay, now this is where it gets a little bit strange because you feel like it's not coming together. But we're not going to get, so that's the back, like that. And now we're going to put the left-hand arm in, and I'm going to go all the way down to there. And my hand will be in my pocket or in the front of my body. And then obviously I have boobs, so I'm just going to add in the shape of my boobs because that helps to tell the story that you're looking above me. You don't have to put that in, ladies. If that makes you feel uncomfortable, don't, just go straight down. And then here's the bottom of my apron. It could be the bottom of your skirt, could be your trousers. If it's trousers, then you might want to just put in a line in the middle. Again, you don't add very much because this is looking down from above. Okay, our arm is going down there and then it's going to tuck in there. And that's one arm. This arm is where the fist is going. So before we do the rest of the arm, let's put in our fist. Okay, I want to put a line. So where my circle is, I'm going to put a line, go straight across there. And then follow that curve down and around. This is your thumb. Follow your curve down and around to about where your legs are and tuck it under. Don't do any more because we need to put the rest of our fist in. So I'm about 1 centimetre down from that line there, and I'm going to do my first line. And it goes from my fingers, I guess that's about 2 centimetres up. And you need to do 4 of these for your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you should get to the bottom of your circle. You can see I've slightly gone in a little bit shorter each time because obviously the fingers are, when you put them like this, they go at a different angle. Okay, so just put them in. Just if I put a diagonal line, you can see what I mean. They're not straight. If it was straight, it would be down like that. So they're just diagonal. Okay, I'm just going to rub those out. Okay, now curve the bottom of those for your fingers. One, two, three, I'm missing a finger. 4. Okay, now on the top of here, this is where we need to put the knuckle. So you should have a knuckle above each finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we need to join that hand up and rub out any of the guidelines or that circle that you drew before. In here, you're going to have the tuck of the finger. Round off the thumb and add in a thumbnail. That helps to explain that it's the thumb. Okay, now we need to add in some lines on this fist to help people understand the tension and the pressure. Let's just get these knuckles right. So it goes up there. There's the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Okay. So you're going to have some lines across the knuckle here where the fingers are bent. Some lines, that wasn't the knuckle, that was the bend of the finger. Some lines on the knuckles here, just a couple. Some lines on the thumb. And on the crease of the thumb there. And that helps to give the story that my hand is in a fist. Now we need to join the arm to the fist, and we're just going to do some roundish lines which make it look like it's the sleeve of whatever top, jacket, jumper we're wearing. And pop in our shoes. Now you can do whatever shoes you want. One going slightly that way and one going forward. They could be trainers, so you could put some laces on them. This isn't an exact drawing in perspective or in clothes, and so it doesn't really matter how you draw things like this. What matters is, you know, the message that we're giving. All right, now I can just see that that is a bit square, that shoulder, so I'm just going to round that off. And now you can, to make whatever, whether you're wearing a skirt or a top or a jacket, you know, just like I'm put some buttons there for my apron, and maybe it's got a pocket, so I'm just going to add a pocket. You can add whatever details you want to help make it look like clothes or separate the clothes, like it could be stripy. So if I add some stripes there. You got stripes on the t-shirt underneath my apron. And then we'll add in a bit of shading. So the hand, I'm going to do a darker shading where the fist is all scrunched up. And then bring it out. Let's get some shade over the whole of it for a skin colour. Depending on what skin colour you've got will depend how hard you press. If you're darker skinned, get yourself a darker tone and press harder. I'm going to do the same on the face, just so that it's the same colour story, and just put a little bit darkness one side of the nose, a little bit darker under the eyes to help give the face a little bit of dimension. But like I say, this isn't a portrait class. This isn't really about how good you can draw. It's about creating a little bit of personal statement in a time that we just want to share it. Okay, and then I'm going to colour in my stripes. You might want to use colour. I'm just going to go with black and white. I think sometimes things are stronger when they're in monochrome. And I might colour in my shoes at the bottom. Add just a little bit of shadow underneath the chest area so it looks like it's a bit deeper. And then just to finish it off, we're going to add the shadow of the body. So let's assume our light source is over here, over this side. We're just going to put shadow in here, underneath that foot, underneath that foot. And then what you need to do is create a big area for your body. You don't have to press very hard. And then the arm would come up here, and we can add a shadow area for that fist. You know, racism is just an abhorrent situation, and you know, it shouldn't be as prevalent as it is still. I'm just going to write a message: stand up, say no. You could write whatever message you want to write. I've already got one on my Facebook that I've already put up. Yeah, it's a terrible situation, and it's important that together we all do what we can in whichever way we can. You know, personally, I count my blessings every day, how lucky I am, how fortunate I am, and how blessed I am that my parents, you know, brought me up in a way that I understand that that sort of thing is not acceptable. There are different ways of going about interacting with people, and we need to find the way forward. So I'm not going to blither on anymore. This is not a party political broadcast on behalf of Bessel. This is just my chance of saying, yeah. All right. So have a lovely day. Tomorrow we'll be back doing our inside out figures to give us our little cue cards to put on our desk for our emotional states. And tomorrow we're going to do fear that we were going to do today. But I just thought it was really important to have a go at that. So if you've enjoyed today, please give me a 1 if you've enjoyed watching this. Give me a 2 if you found that it's not the right appropriate place. It's good to get your feedback. And if you have drawn it, then I would love to see what you've drawn. At You Create Art at Home is your place to find lots and lots of creative opportunities to do longer drawings, smaller drawings, craft with your children. There's over 160 videos on there right now that had started 7 weeks ago with COVID-19, and we are going to carry on as we go forward, which is super exciting. All right, I will see you at lunchtime tomorrow for another creator break. See you later. Bye.